Like I said in previous video, stand and win manual switching. You use this technique, this trick when your match is lagging, very lagging. You use this technique, and these are the players. But generally, just use your best defenders. Use manual switching, and then you follow the tips. This is another laggy match, but my device is stable. Now, I've explained passing. I don't know why I keep repeating myself on passing. But passing is basically two things. In every situation, your pass can go towards your player or it can go towards the opponent. It's something that is there. So, if you want to pass the ball, it's up to you. But I'm not going to pass the ball. With manual switching, we don't take that risk. If you want to take the risk of passing, you use assisted caser. But since we are using manual switching, stand and win, this is exactly what we do. When we get the ball, we clear and then we use it to attack. You have to be very, very fast. In certain situations, if you realize that you can take the risk to give a pass, you take the risk. The next thing is using the matchup. You have to be using the matchup while your other defenders are positioning themselves. And matching up in lagging matches is a little bit difficult, but you just have to have a little bit patience when you win the ball clear, because if you lose the ball, it's very, very difficult, very, very difficult to match up when you lose the ball with manual switch. That's why we clear. If we're using assisted caser, if you lose the ball, you can match up it back very, very easily. So when you're matching up, make sure you don't go past your defense line. I'm always in the middle when I'm matching up. If I go past my defenders when matching up, I'm going to create a big space for the opponent. If I go past my defenders when using the matchup, I'm going to create a big space for my opponent. The players of the opponent are just looking for space to run through, and whenever you use matchup, that is when the players can run through very, very easily. So make sure when you are using the matchup, immediately I lose ball, I switch Keza and try to use the matchup. And when I'm using the matchup, I try to be in the middle. I saying some lag happened again, but I try to be in the middle. This is not the smoothest of match, and in the worst terrible matches, this is the best technique possible. I lost ball, move backwards, use the matchup, try to be in the middle. It's very hard. Sometimes the game would even drag you. Sometimes the game would drag you way past your defense line, but you have to be very, very smart. Try and be in the middle. Just try to be in the middle. When you lose ball and there are certain hair balls, this is a trick I've talked about, but I'll talk about it again. There are certain balls when they are in the air, don't give any command, just leave the ball to be in the air, because your focus should be on the defending. If you give a command in the air, it will disrupt you of your defending. So I'm currently trying to be in the middle. I'm not going too back, trying to be in the middle, and the Kaiser automatically switched. Now I have to control him well for the matchup, and that's it. So that matchup that didn't work initially at the end of the match is because of the lag. If the match was so smooth, we would just absolutely win that ball. That's why I'm not using assisted Kaiser. If the match is not so smooth, don't use assisted Kaiser. Although we use assisted Kaiser in a lot of laggy matches. But this is a new realization upon the fact that the entire issue is the matchup. So if the entire issue is the matchup, you just have to realize that this is the best possible strategy for every laggy matches. This is 100% authentic, genuine trick. And there is something else, that is we have to stop the kickoff glitch when using manual switching, because manual switching, you have to make sure you don't lose the ball in a situation whereby you would find it very, very difficult to match up. And I'm not going towards the goalkeeper trying to position myself right. The players are also positioning themselves right. Just try to be in the middle and not too back. Just in the middle. Don't go back past your defenders. Are you seeing? All right. Trying to be in the middle, and that was another lag. All of these things, if match is very, very smooth, you won't encounter any of this situation. That is why I'm saying for this kind of terrible laggy matches, use manual switching. Absolutely perfect. Use manual switching. Make sure you don't do a passing mistake, and you are just going to have lots of fun. Lots of fun with this match because your opponent will not know your strategy. Your opponent will not understand exactly how you are playing, and I think opponent is frustrated now. What is he going to do? Probably going to do some changes. It's probably going to do some changes, and let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. So this strategy is very, very absolutely perfect. One of the best strategies. We used to do it completely stand and win by standing in the past few updates, but this is what actually works. The difference between then and now is that you don't have to do a mistake with the current way we are using it now. Make sure you don't do a mistake because the matching up is very, very difficult. Particularly, the matchup is sending you to a different direction. In lagging matches, you want to go to a certain direction, but it's also sending you to a different direction. That is why you have to make sure you don't do a mistake. We switch cursor back sometimes when you want a different player to come and match up. Make sure you don't go way past your defenders. Be in the middle between the attacker and who is about to pass. When you see how I'm using my matchup, you realize that I'm always in the middle. Now I'm sending another player back, trying to be in the middle. In the middle, we are not going too far back. Sometimes, and I'll repeat again, not sometimes, there are times that you'll be dragged. The game will drag you to your wrong position. And when you see that it's dragging you too much, you'd have to cancel the drag. You have to be very, very fast about it. Else, the opponent players would run through you. And I'm not going forward. I'm trying to be very, very smart about how I'm using my matchup, and he's going to fall for the trap. He fell for it. My player positioned himself in the pass. That's what I keep saying. When you're about to pass the ball, the opponent player will just quickly. It's very timely, very timed. About to pass, you realize that the other player will just position himself very, very quickly. It happens. That's why you don't have to pass when you're using this strategy. You don't have to pass immediately. Like even if when you time the pass very, very well, the player is going to position himself very, very well. So it is something that you have to recognize, and when you realize how strategic, magical, authentic, beautiful our trick is, you are going to have no stress at all in laggy matches. In the laggy ones, in smooth ones, you use assisted. And yeah, I would also be using assisted whenever. So we have assisted defenders on the bench. We have assisted with assisted guys. Their training guide is different. Training guide is different for the assisted guys, and we'll talk about it later. For this thing, oh my days, for manual switching, different training guide. I've talked. It's in the Telegram channel. I posted it. Telegram channel for manual switching. They need the highest defensive stats possible. For assisted Kaiser, their stats shouldn't be very, very high. It should be below average. And nice. And the game is going to position himself, and easy. This is all about manual switching. We just have to be patient, wait for our defenders to do this kind of stuff. If your defenders are doing this kind of stuff, you are going to win every match. But sometimes you're not going to automatically try and defend. So you have to be patient in using your matchup. That's the thing. And when you win the ball, you have to try and not to give a stupid pass, because if you give a stupid pass, you have to immediately go back and defend. So that's it for the manual switching. We'll develop a couple more manual switching videos so that you just understand the entire concept, understand and win. And we'll switch back to assisted Kaiser. Semi-auto, I don't really enjoy semi-auto. Semi-auto is not tricky, but it's confusing because you don't know whether it's sometimes you want it to switch, it doesn't switch. Sometimes don't want it to switch, it switches. So it's between assisted and semi. It's assisted and manual, and that's it. That's it for this video. I'm gonna see you in the next one.